The way my boyfriend left me shattered my faith in relationships.
It was the 7-month best relationship that I ever had in my 35 years in this world. It started as a Hinge date. He showed me places I'd never been, he taught me things that I never knew, and he held my hand when I am scared. He kept reminding me that I was his best friend and that he won't leave me. When we were together, he would take me out on dates 4x a week, he spoiled me, and he bought me numerous gifts, thoughtful gifts that he thought I needed in my life.
He took me on weekend trips hours away from our city, drove hours to make me happy when I am feeling down.
He would make himself silly to see me smile.
He would caress me. He would tell me how beautiful I was, then kisses me on forehead. He bought me plane tickets to go in another state to introduce me to his childhood friends. He showed me around in his hometown and kept on asking, would you like to live here one day? He was in my city for a project that he was working on. He was consistent up to the end. He never gave me any reason to doubt him, any reason that he would leave me. It was my birthday 4 days ago. He surprised me with an expensive present that I needed and took me for a nice dinner while singing happy birthday to me. We spent 5 days together in a week. But dating nowadays is hard. How would you know someone's true intention?
People told me if someone is consistent, introduced you to his friends, continue to invest in you, put all the efforts, he is serious about you.
It was all wrong. 3 days ago, I went back to my unit.
He called in the afternoon and told me he will come over and he will take me out for dinner.
I was so happy. I thought he missed me already, even though we were together 5 days in a row this week. I made sure I looked pretty. He came in and said, let's go. I'm starving.
We ate. He was serving me with my food and it was so sweet, or so I thought when we came back to my unit.
I asked him if he wants to stay the night. He said, let's go in.
Put a movie on, cuddled in the couch, and he was hugging me tight as if he didn't want to let me go. The movie finished and I asked him again, are you staying the night? He fixed himself up and he told me, I quit my job and I am going back to my hometown in 4 days to work there again.
Which was tomorrow.
I said okay.
What are we going to do now? I thought he would say, I would love for you to relocate with me.
He knew with my line of work I can work anywhere and that I don't have family here as I'm an immigrant.
But he said, we should break up as I don't know my next plan. Without explanation, while I was trying to process things, he got up, grabbed his things and left me behind.
I was shocked.
I tried to message him to look for answers, but I am already blocked everywhere.
In that time, he was this cruel, selfish bastard that played me, and I'm this gullible fool who he needed in this city, and I don't know who I hate the most. Today, 3 days later, the shock is wearing off.
I barely eaten and drunk. I don't know what I did and I feel like I'm worthless.
This is beyond pain over pain. I am tired and I'm so done. He broke up with me in my couch in front of my TV, which I haven't sat on since he left.
Edit. After having 3 days off to process everything, I decided to work this morning. Forced myself to get up and get ready for work, and I've been talking myself I need to focus as I'm a nurse. I have to be strong. I live alone and have no family around for support. I can't screw up. But when I went out of my unit, I saw all my stuffs outside my doorstep. The stuffs I left in his house, even the one gift I bought him 5 months ago. More tears flowing. I assumed he has already flown back to his hometown already. Hope he is okay at least. I'm at work right now and I feel like throwing up because of the stress I'm going through.
I feel like texting him on my friend's phone, but I don't think it's gonna do me any better. Edit 2. Somebody messaged me about his age. If he is much older than me, he must have been a sugar daddy. He is quite in fact 3 years younger than me, and no, he is not my sugar daddy. Paid for stuffs too, as I commented in one of the comment here. I was a really good girlfriend to him. God knows I really tried with this one, as I saw future with him. And also lots of people commented that I seemed immature compared to my age. You are right, I am.
I'm kinda late bloomer and I've only had 3 relationships prior to this. They were all LTR, so in the dating game, I'm a bit clueless, especially
coming from a LTR1. And the thing is as well, I look very young compared to my age. That's why the people I meet are younger ones too, and they are quite immature as well. I think when I'm ready to date, I will look for more matured one and more stable emotionally.
The top replies.
So sorry girl, I've been there before and it is almost traumatizing.
It shatters your trust not only in others, but in yourself.
I'm not fully healed, but I got back together again and I have an amazing man now that I met on Hinge after a few years of thinking I would literally never have sex again.
So you will be okay. Don't feel like you need to move on right away and don't shame yourself for anything. You opened your heart and trusted and did the right thing.
You couldn't have seen it coming or done anything differently.
There is nothing wrong with you or how you're feeling now.
Feel the pain. Process it. Let yourself cry. Be gentle with yourself as you heal.
The second reply.
You can do everything right and still people will disappoint you. Nothing wrong with you, it's just life.
You got this. Keep your head up because you did nothing wrong.
Be proud you are such a good girlfriend and are a great person.
The original poster replies.
Thank you. I'm crying again right now.
It's 10 p.m. here and I've been in bed the whole day. I honestly can't believe he just left me like that. I thought I'm worth more than that. I do not know what was real in the relationship. Before he left, before he turned his back at me, I caught a glimpse of him, of his face. He looked like he was about to cry. I just don't understand what happened. Edit. And I remembered while he was driving back to my unit from dinner, he made an unusual sound and I asked him, "Are you okay?" And I looked at him. His eyes were a bit teary, like when you yawn and tired you get watery eyes, that kind of look.
But he turned at me and he said, "I'm okay, I'm just tired."
I said okay. Didn't thought much about it back.
I didn't know he would break up with me.
It was the same face when he was about to leave me after breaking up with me. I put it down as guilt, Beck.
He is hurting for me. I knew he cared about me and he knew he will hurt me a lot that night.
My 30F charismatic boyfriend, 35 meters, triggers me now when he's funny and charming with other women relationships. I'm not sure if it will be best for both of us if I just leave. My boyfriend, we live together, is very charismatic. He's not really like that in private, but that's the persona he puts on around other people.
People love him.
I'm very introverted and quiet. When we go out, people gush about how wonderful he is.
They often don't remember my name. For the most part, I'm happy to just let him be in the spotlight. I hate being the center of attention.
And I was always proud of his personality. Think stand-up comic. This charisma and charm worked on everyone, and sometimes I'd feel a bit jealous when an attractive woman would be laughing her head off at his jokes, etc. But I'd always remind myself that it's just an act. He acts this way with women and men, and it's just part of his public persona, never crossed any lines, and he's not flirting. If someone didn't naturally have this type of personality, it could look like flirting because he's attentive and funny and turning on the charm. Here's the issue. Almost 2 years ago I discovered that his friendship with a female coworker was a lot closer than I thought. I heard him on the phone speaking with her and I immediately knew they were not just coworkers, so I looked through his phone one day.
They had a very close emotional relationship.
Not physical, but I still consider it cheating. Their contract was just ending anyway, so they immediately cut ties and she moved to another country with her husband.
He's been very patient with me and he is very sorry for getting close to her.
But one thing I can't get past is that he's admitted that she touched him a lot. Meaning, she was always rubbing his arm, hugging him to say hello, etc.
He apparently let her do this. Now I'm always fighting my anxiety and anger when we are out and he's charming, some attractive woman. Now all I can think of is how he talked to his coworker this way and was actually flirting.
How she was so taken with him and they formed a close emotional relationship. I mean, he called her baby in texts. I'm beginning to think I need to just leave because I'm obviously not over it and it's hard to get past it when these things keep bringing it back up. Sound about right?
The top replies.
I'm not buying your whole, it's not flirting because it's his personality, bit.
That just doesn't make sense.
Call a spade a spade. He flirts with people.
Some of those people are attractive women.
He goes out of his way to charm them and make them laugh.
That's flirting.
You say he doesn't cross the line, but he does. He did. And he continues to keep those doors open with his interactions with people to do it more. What's to say he won't do that again?
I wouldn't put up with this in a partner.
You can be social and outgoing and engaging without crossing the line to flirting and charming, but he doesn't. That's disrespectful to you.
Especially after his emotional affair.
I was in a similar situation once with a similarly charming partner.
It always frustrated me. I felt like he was always putting such priority on entertaining others.
Could never settle, always looking for the next exciting thing. Leaving was the best thing.
Hope you do the same.
The second reply. Original poster. Some people turn on the charisma and charm in public because they need that attention from others for validation. I'm not talking about typical extroverts, I'm talking about individuals who are two different people depending on who's around. Be cautious of these types. Socializing is necessary and enjoyable, but those who need to be desired have a void inside that you can't fill. Move on to someone who's happy and the same person no matter who you're with.
The third reply. My boyfriend is definitely a charmer and I'm pretty introverted in my personal life. Tired from being on all the time at work.
My boyfriend tells lots of jokes, makes friends easily, and is the life of the party.
When we first started dating, it would make me uncomfortable, especially when he would work the room, and I felt he was sort of flirting when I wasn't with him.
After telling him this behavior sometimes made me sad, he found a solve that worked for both of us.
At parties, he would signal that we're together.
If we happen to be separated, he'll smile or wave at me from across the room. It's partially to show that he also pays attention to if I'm enjoying myself and partially to signal to others that we're together. He has become more mindful of physical interaction with other women also. Just generally not putting himself in situations where intentions could be confused, i.e. full body hugs, casual touching, etc.
Part of protecting your relationship isn't just that you don't cheat/start emotional affairs, but that you actively don't put yourself in situations that can open the opportunity for those things. Third story.
Brother-in-law, 32M, had heart surgery.
My husband, 35M, has been rude and asking my sister, 34F, questions about their ex life. I want to try and give the short version of events because it's early in the morning and I've hardly slept. It's been one of those nights. My husband and I are staying with my sister for 2 weeks. We've come to California for a family emergency and my sister was kind enough to let us stay with her and her husband.
My husband and I got into a huge fight a few hours ago because of the way he has been acting here.
He's been acting immature for the past 4 days, but this is the big reason we've had a fight. My sister, Juliet, is a surgeon.
Her husband has a heart condition, he just had surgery for it. He came back home right before we arrived.
She's obviously very worried about it and isn't letting him do a lot.
She's taken time off for it. Her one request was we make things as easy for Tyler as we can.
My husband commented to me that she isn't even letting Tyler him get up to get himself a drink. My husband had this idea in his head that he'd ask how their ex life even works if Tyler is like this. Juliet snapped at him that it's none of his business and obviously he isn't like this all the time.
She was very upset and said maybe she should ask him the same.
He said he was just joking and she wasn't having it. My husband and I got into a big fight.
I'm just so frustrated because he sees everything as a joke and takes nothing seriously.
If he upsets someone, he says he was just playing around.
I'm struggling to make him see he's really starting to embarrass me during this time in front of my family and he's making the family resent him.
The top replies.
Your husband just completely squandered your sister's kindness. You need to find a hotel or get a ticket home for your husband so he doesn't negatively affect your brother-in-law healing.
You came to help during a crisis, not make it worse.
Removing yourself from Tyler's healing space and a sincere apology is the right thing to do.
The second reply. Your husband doesn't see it as a joke, he's being willfully malicious.
Saying it's a joke is a cop-out he's used to turn it back on everyone and make it their fault for not having a sense of humor, when in reality he likes doing it to see people's reaction. Ask him why he feels the need to be malicious and kick people when they're down next time, and there will be a next time he does it.
Third reply. Your husband doesn't see it as a joke, he's being willfully malicious.
Saying it's a joke is a cop-out he's used to turn it back on everyone and make it their fault for not having a sense of humor, when in reality he likes doing it to see people's reaction. Ask him why he feels the need to be malicious and kick people when they're down next time, and there will be a next time he does it.